So on the network side, we act as a router. We sit on the network and we scan things. So as simple as this, when you go to put stuff in, the first thing we like to do to people is put it on the network and scan what's going on. And people are like, wow, I got 40 devices on my network and they're there, and I can actually put rules, I can do speed tests, because a lot of times people are having issues with their network, and that's really the reason why the technology is not working properly. Or a device drops off and they're like, you know, I've got some automation and it's not working properly. Well, you're like, hey, the light switch disappeared 3 days ago on the network. If it's not seen on the network, it's not going to turn on and off. So it has nothing to do with the software. It has to do with the, you know, so even if we didn't sell them the software or the automation, but just managing the network, you can add some more pieces to it. But anyway, so it's got a lot of different little, you know, parts there. And the biggest one is that if we find something on the network and it has a port, like to get to the back door, we can actually access things through a secure tunnel through our system. So a lot of places like DDNS, right? When you guys get guys with cameras, they always have to like get a DDNS server and all that kind of stuff. We actually have that built in because our box always knows where it is, because of a patented piece we have and how it talks to the cloud. So it always finds its way home, and it always knows where it's at, even if the network address changes. So it's a really nice feature for the people to be able to use. Access control. So we support card readers. We support, you know, typical, you know, our box has a power supply built in. We can, you know, have a 12-volt battery connected, and we can supply strike power, even the mag lock. We talk to the ZK stuff. We've got video integration where you can snapshot camera. We integrate, you know, the voice component allows us a lot of gate access stuff. So we do really cool, we do a lot of work where we replace door king units and things like that for gates, because we integrate the voice and the video with the access control. We have the ability to push a button and do a lockdown, right? So if you have a certain panic happen, we can actually send out, you know, commands using that cluster capability to change digital signage and lock all the doors, and only allow someone with an override code to be able to open a door, that kind of stuff. On the control side, we have all kinds of wired and wireless capabilities. So refrigerator temperature monitoring, door opening closures, right? So our unit has eight zones of I/O physically built in, so you could put you know whether it's temperature sensor or humidity sensor, and then we also have a whole wireless capability that allows us to take in all kinds of stuff. We have 3-phase power, so we can tell you on every leg what the current draw is, and if you drop one of the legs out. We have differential pressure, so you can put it into an HVAC system and look on both sides of a filter and tell when the filter's dirty. We have a whole slew of different sensors that we can do rules and alerts on, and you know, integrate with lots of stuff. On the alarm side, again, our box acts as an alarm panel. It can talk to things like the Honeywell and a few others. With the POTS line, we can work with anything that does contact ID. So in a lot of places, we're doing backup, as I talked about, where we have satellite with a DMP panel, or a Honeywell, you know, some type of other brand name panel. We can add a backup cellular and a backup, you know, satellite capability. We've integrated with a gunshot detection. So for, you know, they're not inexpensive sensors, but now we can do an array of 6 or 8 or 20, you know, gunshot detection sensors, and tell you you've got single or multi-shot firings going on. We get into phones on our product, and we have a full phone integration system. So again, for like an alarm dealer who wants to get into a new service, they can add an intercom, they can add some public addressing, they can add even fax capability using our box and product. So it's you know, we definitely integrate it with access control all the time. We definitely have a lot of different services, and reality is the small to medium phone service, it's like one of the last like great everybody needs it, needs this stuff. So like right now we're working with some people where we're getting elevator phones, right? And we're working with some channels that people want to do elevator phones. They want to do POTS line replacement, and so it gives us a couple of different functions they can use. But those circuits they're replacing are like $30 to $70 a month, $50 a month for the analog line, and we can come in there and replace that and take it all as one service. And there's great margin in that comparatively to what they were doing before. Video, we started it. So originally our goal was not to compete with like NVRs and cameras type stuff. So we started with the ability to sort of just be a manager, take pictures of the cameras at different times, log in and maybe do a password change, right? Because people always leave them as defaulted. Sort of network health of a camera kind of thing. And so you can set up, and so a lot of people never look at their cameras. Well, now we have this health monitor, and we literally can get the camera to, and I'll just show you like a piece. So you can say, hey, I want to see a camera. And again, it comes in the same interface, and that's what people like about it. So it's not like, again, for a business, I've got my phone stuff, I've got my I get my voicemail, I can get pictures of what the stuff looks like, I can set up rules, that kind of stuff. It's really kind of a nice integration, and I can tie it to my access control. So those are sort of the pieces that are happening. Digital signage is another, like I said, another piece. We can have people set up menus. So if you're in a school, you can put the cafeteria menu, load it into our system, and you have the ability, like I said, gunshot detection. It changes the digital signage from the menu to active shooter, leave the building, or rest in place, or whatever it may be. So next we get into things like automation. So we support things like we're getting into Muzak management by talking to, you think about this, but Muzak is everywhere, right? People need to pay their licenses to listen to Muzak. Well, we're adding a function, right, to talk to 1 or 2 music players, because again, they're paying $25 a month for that service, right? Why wouldn't we want to grab a little RMR? Even if you make $3, right? You'd charge 28, make 3, whatever it might be, but it's all under one platform. And all it is turning on the music. But the reason why it's important is that when I'm in a bar and I'm locking up at night, I want to turn off my TVs and I want to turn off the music or whatever it might be. And when I arm the system, it just automatically does that, right? When I disarm the system, it brings everything back on. Or you create a rule when to create it on. After 10 minutes, turn everything on at 10 a.m., but I come in at 7 a.m. to do my paperwork. I don't have to go out there and start turning things on, or, oh, God, I was busy, I forgot to do it, It allows people to automate these kind of features. And so we have different kind of integrations that the box does.